She texted him that the baby would be listed under her ex's name. Already decided, already done. Mark replied, "Okay," and set the phone face down on the table, knowing that answer ended everything they'd planned. That was the last message he ever sent her, and nothing after that could be undone. The phone dimmed with a soft click, and the only sound left was the fridge humming, steady and cold, like it knew. Mark sat at the kitchen table, one hand on his coffee mug, the other still holding the phone. Steam rose, cooled, vanished. He didn't move for a while. No shouting, no broken plates, no call. Just that quiet wait, the kind that folds months of plans into silence. The kind that hits before you're ready to understand. Last night he'd stood under the pharmacy lights, buying prenatal vitamins and almond ice cream, because she said she couldn't sleep without it. The receipt was still in his wallet, folded beside a note that said baby socks. And now it felt like a list for someone else's life. He leaned back in his chair, eyes on the microwave clock, 8:37. The second hand clicked once. Somewhere outside, a car door slammed. Inside, only the low hum of the heater and the distant sound of a neighbor's TV. His phone lit again. A delivery promotion. Not from her. He watched it fade out and turned the screen face down. His thumb brushed the wooden table, smooth from years of use, like everything he owned. Practical, unremarkable, steady. It took him exactly one breath to decide he wasn't going to ask why. Instead, he reached for his laptop. The screen blinked to life, casting a faint blue over his face. Tabs opened. Baby store, flower delivery, courier service. The glow reflected in his coffee, a strange calm spreading across the surface. He clicked, typed, scrolled. His movements were slow, precise. The rhythm of a man who'd stopped feeling but hadn't stopped functioning. Every sound in the room, the keys, the soft buzz of the fridge, seemed amplified, as if the world was holding its breath with him. He paused, saw his reflection in the laptop screen, pale, hollow, almost calm, and kept typing. The cursor blinked. The clock ticked. Nothing dramatic happened. But inside that stillness, something irreversible had already begun. He didn't delete the text, just scrolled back once, like checking a burn to see if it's real. Then opened a new tab. Congratulations, baby gift basket. The autofill knew what he wanted before he did. The screen filled with pastel colors, ribbons, bears, bottles, all the symbols of hope that had just turned into props. He hovered over each one like a man inspecting tools, not toys. A soft click. Add to cart. His face stayed calm. The only movement was his thumb tracing the table edge, back and forth. It wasn't nervousness. It was calibration. The air smelled faintly of detergent and stale coffee. Outside, a siren wailed somewhere far enough to sound unreal. He exhaled through his nose, slow, steady. The form asked for a message. He typed, deleted, typed again. Finally, congratulations on your new child. Mark. He didn't use emojis, didn't add punctuation. Just the truth, polished and sharp. Then came the address. He remembered it from a night months ago, her offhand comment about that quiet street where my ex still lives. The memory replayed without emotion, just as data. He found it in 2 clicks, confirmed the zip code, and pasted it in. A small detail caught him, the add card photo option. He attached a single image, a screenshot of her message. The system previewed it as a printout, folded neatly on top of the basket. It looked absurdly polite. The total came to $129. He entered his card number slowly, reading each digit out loud. Confirm order. The click made a soft sound, but it landed heavy, like something locking in place. He closed the laptop. The screen went black, catching the ceiling light, and his stillness inside it. The quiet that followed wasn't empty this time. It had weight, direction. He poured what was left of his coffee into the sink and let the faucet run for a few seconds, just to hear movement. Then he turned it off, wiped the counter, and checked the clock. 9:41. In his chest, there was no heat. Only a calm pulse that said, it's done. By morning, the phone started to vibrate. Once, then again, then constantly, a stuttering rhythm that filled the quiet apartment. Mark let it buzz across the table, face down. The sound reminded him of a trapped insect hitting glass. He made coffee, measured the grounds, poured water, stirred. The movements were mechanical, but steady, the same way he'd done every morning for months. Except now there was something clean about it, almost sterile. He didn't check his messages until he'd finished his cup. Then he turned the phone over. 10 missed calls. 4 from Jenna. 2 from unknown numbers. A few from a blocked one. He didn't open any of them. Instead, he opened the courier email. Delivery completed at 9:22 a.m. A photo was attached, the basket on a porch, ribbons bright against the gray wood. Below it, a line, recipient signature, T. Hayes. He exhaled once. The sound was barely there, but it broke the morning like a pin through paper. Somewhere, at that exact moment, her world began to tilt. He didn't need to imagine it. The office whispers, the ex's wife seeing the message, the panic rolling through calls and screenshots. The truth had already left his hands. Now it had a life of its own. He rinsed the mug, set it upside down in the sink. His phone buzzed again. A short message from Jenna. "Did you do something?" He read it. Didn't reply. Then he scrolled to the delivery photo again. That neat little basket, the folded printout on top. About like a full stop. He took a slow breath through his nose. That was the moment, the one he wouldn't come back from. Not because he'd crossed a line, but because he'd stopped pretending one still existed. The coffee smell lingered as he grabbed his jacket and left for work. Outside, the air was cool, sharp, ordinary. At a red light, his phone buzzed once more. He let it. The vibration against the console felt like the world's faintest applause. He didn't smile, just adjusted the mirror and drove on. By afternoon, the noise had spread faster than any message ever could. Screens lit up in offices, group chats, and comment threads. Someone tagged someone else. A photo appeared, the basket on the porch, the card visible. "Congratulations on your new child, Mark." Jenna's co-workers whispered near the break room fridge. One of them forwarded the post to another department. HR called her in. The meeting room was small, too bright. "We just need to clarify a few things," they said. Across town, Mark was scanning barcodes at the warehouse, the handheld beeping in even intervals. Beep. Pause. Beep. The sound cut through the dusty air like a heartbeat. A coworker asked if he was okay. He said, "Yeah, just catching up on orders." That was it. His tone didn't move. His phone buzzed inside his pocket. He didn't check it. The machine noise around him filled the space between thoughts. Forklifts hummed, boxes shifted, radios crackled. Everything ordinary, everything still in rhythm. Somewhere else, her rhythm broke. At 5, he clocked out, walked past the loading dock. The sun hit the metal railing, harsh, almost white. He squinted, paused, then looked at his phone for the first time that day. Dozens of notifications, missed calls, messages, screenshots of other people's words. He opened one, a text from a mutual friend. "Man, what happened between you two? It's everywhere." He stared at it for a second, then locked the screen again. The warehouse door thudded shut behind him. The echo stretched, then faded. He walked to his car, keys already in hand. The sound of metal sliding against his fingers felt grounding, real. Before starting the engine, he checked the courier email again. The same photo, the same timestamp. He looked at it like a signature, something official, an act completed, irreversible. On the drive home, traffic lights blurred red and gold across the windshield. His face stayed calm. The hum of the tires blended with a soft tune from the radio. A song he didn't recognize, but somehow fit. The city outside moved fast, impatient. Inside his car, the air felt like slow motion, quiet, balanced, done waiting. 3 days later, the warehouse was almost empty. End of shift, cold fluorescent light, the kind that makes everything look clean but tired. Mark finished entering numbers on the inventory sheet, pressed submit, and shut the laptop. The hinge clicked like a lock. He sat for a moment, hands flat on the desk. The sound of forklifts had stopped. Somewhere down the hall, a vending machine dropped a can, a single metallic echo. The air felt still, like the pause after rain. His phone buzzed once, face down beside him. He didn't reach for it. Not right away. He stood, stretched his back, turned off the desk lamp. Then, out of habit, he checked his notifications. At the top, delivery completed, feedback requested. A small green checkmark next to it. He exhaled through his nose, a breath more like a sigh than relief. "Good," he whispered, almost soundless. No more missed calls. No more messages. The thread with her name sat archived, gray and quiet. He walked outside. The parking lot was half-lit, sodium lights flickering over the empty asphalt. His car waited in the same spot it always did. When he opened the door, a faint chime sounded, the same tone his phone had made that night when her text arrived. The circle closed without ceremony. He sat behind the wheel, watching the condensation fade on the windshield. For a moment, he thought about the list still folded in his wallet: baby socks, wipes, vitamins. He pulled it out, looked at it once, then tore it cleanly in half. No hesitation, no drama, just emotion that felt honest. He started the engine. The headlights cut through the dark, catching a few leaves drifting across the pavement. The hum of the car filled the silence. Not loud, just steady, like breath returning after holding too long. He didn't look back at the building. He didn't think about her anymore. The world outside wasn't different, but his place in it finally was. As he drove off, his phone lit again on the seat beside him. The delivery app's thank you note glowing for a second, polite as ever. He didn't touch it. Just watched the light fade, blink once, and die in the dark.